My name is Carson from WWI News, live in DC, and we have a great show for you tonight. We are covering the Great War on the home front. Right now, women stopped wearing corsets, and the steel was important for the war. The steel made 2 U.S. ships. Now, we go over to Caden live in Great Britain.
Thank you, Carson. Hi, I'm Caden, and I'm broadcasting for WWI News in Great Britain. Today we'll be talking about how the Great War started. There were many events that led to the Great War, but the biggest one was in June 28, 1914. 7 young members of the Black Hand attempted to kill Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The first attempt was that a man tried to throw a bomb at the car that Archduke was in, but he terribly missed and killed many innocent people. But the second attempt was much more worse because a man approached the car with a pistol and killed both Archduke and his wife, which led to Russia declaring war with Australia. Soon after Russia declared war with Australia, their allies started to join. Germany, Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria all joined Australia. And Great Britain, France, Serbia, and Belgium joined Russia. And later on, the US joined Russia's side. But there were also 4 causes to the Great War. The first cause was militarism. Militarism is when countries compete to build up their militaries. The second cause was alliances. Alliances are agreement between 2 or more countries. The third cause is imperialism. Imperialism is when bigger countries try to control smaller or weaker countries. Finally, the last reason was nationalism. Nationalism is when people have an extreme feeling or pride and loyalty to your nation. Those were the main reasons of the Great War. Earlier, I said that the U.S. joined Russia's side later on. Well, here are the reasons why the U.S. got involved. The first reason was Allied financial connection. That was when the U.S. gave $32 billion to their allies because they needed it. And if their allies lost the war, then they could never pay them back. So they were thinking to join the war. The second reason was pro-British feelings. Pro-British feelings was when the Britain cut the underwater transatlantic telegraph cable from Europe to America. The third reason was that the British blocked the Germans so they couldn't get any more supplies and had a small war, which killed 750,000 men, which made the U.S. pretty mad. The last reason was the Zimmermann telegram. The Zimmermann telegram was a coded message sent by Germany to Mexico, and the message told Mexico to fight the U.S. But the message was caught by British spies, and the U.S. wasn't pretty mad. Wasn't happy about the message, so they joined the war and helped their allies. That's all I have for you today, but in my opinion, I felt like the death of Archduke Franz Ferdinand was the biggest cause of the Great War. And that's all I have for you today, and we'll be moving on to how trench life was like with Dylan live on the battlefield.
Thank you, Caden. My name is Dylan, reporting live on the battlefield for WWI News. Right now, the war rages on with no clear advantage on either sides. The fighting is horrific. Constant bombings. We are always under fire. New technologies create an unseen body counts. I've seen charges completely demolished by machine guns. Planes flying by, dropping bombs on enemy sites. Tanks plowing through trenches. I've heard rumors of Germans using poison gases to force the Allied forces out of the trenches. But flamethrowers have been able to burn through charges. Trench warfare is horrific. People are lying in the mud for hours at a time just shooting. Gas clouds fly by occasionally, killing everything in its path. Bombs are falling from the sky. People are getting trench foot, which needs an amputation. Trench foot comes from feet being in mud for months at a time. This photograph is of soldiers riding home to their families and friends. Some are sleeping. They are trying to keep hope up. I don't think this type of fighting was very effective because both sides were unable to advance during most of the war up until the end. And now to Kenya in the future in Versailles, France.
Thank you, Dylan. My name is Ken. I'm reporting live in the future of Versailles, France, WWI News. The big 3 helped the Treaty of Versailles. The big 3 are France, Britain, In the U.S., Germany takes our responsibility for World War I. Germany also must pay for damages for the war. Central Power lost territory. Several new nations in Europe were created. The League of Nations was created. Worldwide group of countries band together to prevent future wars. The U.S. did not join. The U.S. did not want to get involved. The U.S. did not sign the Treaty of Versailles. Woodrow Wilson, 14 points, were lower trade network, avoiding war in future, proposing his 14 points for a better world, avoiding harsh treatments of Germany. Negating among the Isles powers of participation by Germany is 15 parts and 444 articles. German boundaries assigned liabilities for reparation. Treaty of Versailles. They got Germany, France, and Great Britain to sign this treaty for peace. I think if the United States didn't join the war, it would have been different. Like an example, might not have a lot of soldiers and might need the U.S. soldiers, but the U.S. won't help them because it didn't join. Now back to you, Carson.
Thank you, Kenya. The U.S. is in the war, but in my opinion, the U.S. should not have gotten in the war because it puts the whole nation on hold, and we have to help fight the war too. Right now, on the home front, people are fundraising money to help U.S. win this war. Right now, all in summarize, the U.S. has joined the Great War, and women had gave up corsets to build U.S. ships. The U.S. has a whole nation helping to win this war. I just want to thank you all for watching, and everyone in the booth, be safe and good night.